Hello YouTube! This is my first long-form video. We're gonna make an overview of Apex Legends Season 28 patch notes. This is a recording from stream. I stream every day from 6 to 10 p.m. Central European Time. Come say hi, I hope to see you there. Enjoy! And one of the big changes in the new 25th season is the addition of these new windows that by default have 250 HP. They are destructible. They get increased damage from explosive, shotguns, sniper rifles, and legend abilities. They take damage in the ring, and control legends can reinforce them, like any control legends, which would increase the HP 6 times. So it would be 1,250. There is like a 4 seconds delay to rebuild them. And you can reinforce maximum 4 windows. But I guess if you play multiple control characters, you can reinforce more of them. So it's like a limit number of reinforced highlights. I don't know if it's per character or per squad. Reinforced highlight decays when the original reinforcement player exceeds reinforcement limit. Okay, so whenever you place more than 4, the old ones start decaying. Or where there are no players nearby for the extended period of time, and it turns back to 200 HP when it's done. Then they say, okay, this ranked matchmaking. They basically say that once there's enough people in diamond ranks, they're going to try to do more stricter matchmaking. So there will be like smaller gap between the ranks and the high elo. They would try to match masters with Diamond 1 players, etc., and not with Platinum players, as it always is in Epics. Then they added some new audio settings that we're gonna check for sure. And the most interesting part, they changed a couple of characters. So I think reworked Fuse, if I'm not mistaken, not just changing the whole thing. So this old doc needed some new tricks. In particular, Fuse Ultimate was seen as being too difficult to use and often unimpactful. The ult's behavior should make it easier to find effective use cases while cementing Fuse's identity as mobile artillery. With the ultimate focused on clearing out large spaces, we wanted to focus the tactic on being quicker and easier to attack enemies. The duration of Knuckle Cluster can also help you follow up on your own damage, particularly alongside his passive change. Knuckle Jump replaces Knuckle Hustler as a movement option that feels more fusey. I don't know what that means. Okay, so the passive is no longer slowed when taking explosive damage. That is nice, so his own Q is not slowing him anymore. Tactical. Faster weapon stall time when switching to the tactical. So he would remove weapon faster from his hands. Flatten trajectory to make tap firing more accurate. Yes, something about trajectory. We're also going to check that. Reduce delay before explosion starts. Nice. More damage. Reduce duration by 50 seconds. This is actually, I think, also pretty nice. So it has more damage by 50%, but it's 50% short. It has 50% shorter cooldown. It's gonna deal more damage, but zone not as effectively, I would say, because he wouldn't be able to cover like to close some angle for a long period of time. Refresh ultimate behavior fires a mortar that explodes against the ground and sprays out smaller bombs around its landing point. When aiming downside, the mortar can pierce cover up to 13 meters deep and deliver explosives to the other side. So basically, you can drill through the walls with his ultimate right now, which is also very nice. You cannot hide from that shit. And I'm a little bit worried about these characters because it might make the game very annoying to play against him. So perks, level 2, pirate techniques. Your ultimate will drop behind patches of fire for 8 seconds after the bomb explodes. Your ultimate will drop behind. What? I don't understand what that means. Your ultimate will drop behind patches of fire for 8 seconds after the bombs explode. Okay, so the ultimate is just gonna drop even more fire on the floor. Right. My God! Wow! Look at this creature. Go. Knuckle jumper. Jumping when next to your own knuckle cluster will give you an explosive boost. So yeah, that's what I saw in the videos. That sounds pretty cool. Reignition. Dealing explosive damage to enemies, recharge your ultimate. For every 2 damage dealt, reduce cooldown by 1 second. Dealing explosive damage to your enemies. This sounds kind of busted because this shit deals 15 damage. No, where? His Q deals 15 damage per second, right? And it lasts, I don't know how long it lasts, by the way, it didn't say what its duration is. But even if it lasts 1 second, if you hit your Q, you reduce your cooldown by 7 seconds, and you usually have like 2 Qs, or he used to have 2 Qs. So, and he also deal damage to multiple enemies quite sometimes, so it could make his ultimate with no cooldown. So I think Fuse could be pretty strong right now. Okay, then Catalyst. Yeah, they made Catalyst has needed help for a while, especially as the controller have gotten buffs in the past few seasons. He actually basically had the lowest pick rate among all the other characters. Okay, so they basically buffed her. She can now reinforce up to 4 doors and up to 4 windows, so she can reinforce the whole building, I guess. Then her tactical, better trajectory again, slightly lower the pitch, don't know what that means, and higher range. 50% bigger, nice. Reduce the delay before spike deal damage, was 2 seconds, now 1 second, nice. Can now have 3 traps, maximum was 2, also nice. Activation radius reduced by 20%. This is how close you have to be before the spikes stand up and the core vulnerable.
Спасибо. Добро пожаловать.
Oh. One more bot, beautiful. Thank you for subscription. Would rather not join your Discord. Okay, ultimate. You can now toggle to deploy your ultimate horizontally, which is pretty nice because it's sometimes very annoying. And also, like, if you have to turn, your ultimate would start directly where you stand at. And if you see an enemy, like a bunch of enemies in front of you, you would sometimes really like to just put the wall in front of you so they can't shoot you, so they couldn't shoot you. But it wasn't possible because you would turn right or left, you would put your wall, and then you would still be in the open for a while. You would need to go, let's say if you turn left, you put your wall towards left side, and then you would still need to go left to hide there, if I'm not mistaken. They also increase the length of the wall, the wall can now build up through standard doors, lifeline docks. Okay, so it can go through multiple surfaces, can now be placed on steeper angles, reduce dark veil duration when enemies walk through. Okay, so now you have this themed screen only for 5 seconds instead of 7. Nice. Generally feels like useful ultimate, and a lot of this like quality of placement changes. Hidden spikes, level 2 upgrade. The spike pool is now hidden to enemies while inactive. That sounds like crazy, because it means that you would stand on the trap without knowing about that, and you would get this damage, you would get slowed, and you would get destroyed if Catalyst nearby, which is pretty good buff for her. Spectre have activate 50% faster and deal 5 more damage per hit. I think nobody will use that, given that this is so OP. Removed sister spikes and long veil. I don't know what that means. And Bloodhound. The character also had almost no pick rate. There was no reason to pick Bloodhound for a couple of seasons. There were so many better alternatives who could scout better and so on. So now what the change? Passive. Enemies outside 30 meter no longer block white ravens from spawning. Flock upgrade brought into base kit. Okay, so they included one of his upgrades into base kit, which is nice. So you will be able to track enemies even when there are teams nearby. Before that, there's the ravens would spawn only if there is nobody nearby. Clues more than 6 to 13 meters away no longer block white ravens. Okay, I don't know what that means. Tactical. Total scan duration up to 4 seconds. Full body duration remains half the full scan duration. So yeah, cool. So now you scan for 4 seconds, but total body is only for 2 seconds. I don't know what that means. Yeah, like what that means. How can you have like if you scan the person, you would see him for 2 seconds. What the other 2 seconds would be happening? I don't understand. Also, I need to test. Reduce screen coloration during scan. Fewer clues will pop up on screen when your tactical successfully scans an enemy. Fewer clues. Okay, maybe it was a little bit destructive for some players. Then what? Ultimate. Reduce cooldown almost twice. Great. Activation time reduced by 20 seconds. Great. After activation, the wider field of view gradually shifts back to your normal field of view. Interesting. I didn't even notice that you had wider field of view when you were using Bloodhound Ultimate. Then Nox, while your ultimate is active, increase the duration by 5 seconds. It will always reset to 10 seconds if below. That's great, actually. If your ultimate is almost down, like let's say you have 1 second left and then you kill somebody, it would reset 10 seconds. So you should sort of like wait a little bit until it goes below like to 4 seconds and then you knock somebody to gain more value. But by default, it extends the duration of the ultimate. I think it was like that before, but before the nerf Bloodhound when he was absolute meta. That's nice. Nox while your ultimate is active resets your tactical duration. Nox. That's also great. It has been active for a while, but is now called out in the ability description. Okay, so it's not really a buff, but it was just hidden. Upgrades. So this is a crazy upgrade that I've heard about. Taste of Blood, that he regens 50 HP when knocks people in his ultimate. Okay, not really crazy. So they basically gave him passive from the assault class. Not even that, because as far as I understand, the assault class would also regen armor, but this guy would only regen HP, so you would have to be below your 100 HP, which is already not good. Raven's Flight, when activating your White Ravens, they can ping enemies twice as far as normal, so you scout people further. Hunter's Agility, I mean, nobody will take this, let's be honest. Everybody will take Taste of Blood. Hunter's Agility, your tactical is faster to use and has minus 5 seconds cooldown. Great. Eye of Father removed from level 2. What's the other one? Removed. Okay, so they just removed a bunch of them. What is the other one? I wonder what's the alternative? I don't remember. But this sounds good. Like faster tactical and 5 seconds less cooldown. Great. Then I think they nerfed Crypta, right? Print power coupling for 5 seconds after. Like we wanted to power coupling to add value for Crypto actively piloted the drone and scanning the enemies, but with the current version, its main impact is in refunding all charge for EMP to help refocus the upgrade, which changes the behavior so it no longer gains all charge on EMP scan. From data, we also saw that the amount of all charge gained from players was too generous, so we're taking the opportunity to bring that in line as well. Ooh. So prevent power coupling for 5 seconds after EMP, so you gotta wait 5 seconds until it starts giving you the ult charge back, reduce charge gained from scan players from 10 to 5. I think they released that even last season. I don't remember how much they nerfed that, but all right, that's I guess it's good because it wasn't healthy. Like this Zack Mazer's video, and he basically EMP'd like 5 or 6 times and dealt 4,000 damage in like 4 minutes on LGS. That's insane. Pathfinder. Grapple God is the runway upgrade choice at level 3. We wanted to offer some more benefit to filling Zippy without a big refresh for Pathfinder, so choices are more compelling. Filling Zippy additionally increase allied movement speed on energized zipline, so you go faster on the ziplines. What's the difference? I'm sorry. Allied acceleration on energized zipline. So you accelerate on the zipline. I didn't even know. So you start moving like faster over the time, and it was a thing, which I didn't know about. Okay. Octane's nerf, max duration extension reduced from 6 seconds to 3 seconds. Max duration, what is that? The deals time extension would let you octane chain sequential fights longer than we'd like. As such, we're making adjustments to the max time extension. I don't understand what that means, to be honest. Oh, you're still watching. If you want to see more content like that, please subscribe to my channel. That would mean the world to me. I would really appreciate that. Thank you. Bye bye. Let's check the legends upgrades. Oh, weapons. Um, weapons animation. So they new inspect animation. That's nothing. They moved Scout to the care package and buffed him. Obviously, great, and can be equipped with sniper optics. We'll also check that. The nerfed all the marksman rifles, which is nice. We're finally gonna have some different meta. The nerfed botsec, 60 damage instead of 65, 50 instead of 55 when it's energized, and increased draw time. So it will. Okay, yeah, you'll probably. I don't know what that means exactly, but this is, I think, significant buff nerf. Then repeater, they reduced base damage by 2, which probably is not a big deal for repeater. It's less than they hit botsec, but they also decrease some multipliers and increase the time it gets charged. I don't know, repeater was already bad, but I guess they nerfed it because otherwise it would just become the only opportunity to play. And reduced rate of fire for triple take and slightly increased choke time. I think triple take will still be viable. Like, it's not that they just fire that quick, like that everybody was firing it at like very quickly. I don't know. Still could deal decent damage. Then they returned P2020 to the floor, removed hop up, of course, reduced the damage and so on. So they basically returned them to the stock. Stock parameters. It's probably going to be a viable gun. And if I'm not mistaken, yeah, we're going to look at the hop ups later. They have some hop up. With Scarlet making its grand entrance into the April game, it felt right for the breach and clear weapon class to make their way to the spotlight. Shotguns are getting a little love with some targeted updates and new hop-up additions. Okay, so they buffed Mastiff, decreased pellets per blast to 5 instead of 6, but then they increased damage to 19 instead of 16. It's going to be easier to hit and adjusted the blast pattern. We also had to check that. It's going to be more consistent to hit your shots from Mastiff, which is nice. I found Mastiff more appealing to use than PK. I don't know, PK is just boring. Eva 8, slightly increased rate of fire and tightened blast pattern. So yeah, again, easier to hit and faster rate of fire. We're also going to check that. And for the control character, that's definitely going to be OP, especially that they reduce the damage. Like a lot of them have this fortified passive. Not a lot of actually. Actually, I think only Caustic has fortified passive, but I'm not sure. And then like on shotguns, when one hit deals 100 damage, it's like a really big deal. You would need to shoot them more. Okay, let's check the hop ups. Dual shell, 300 locked hop up points to unlock, added to Mastiff, and 30-30. So you can. I think this is about reloading 2 shells at the same time, not about shooting 2 shells. Hammer points return to P2020. I think this is the one that deals more damage to the armor, which is very strong. Oh no! This is the one that deals more damage to the raw health, and disruptors, they make more damage to armor. That at the Peacekeeper, so they also buff Peacekeeper. Gun shield regenerator removed from triple take. Okay, one more nerf to triple take, and it might be significant. From R301 and Hemlock as well, which is, I think, also pretty smart because R301 would have been the next contender for the title probably if we remove marksman rifles. And Hemlock, Hemlock felt pretty well. And now it's gonna have no shield, which is nice. And I think they also buffed R309 last season. If maybe I'm wrong, I don't remember. Graffiti mod. This one recharge your ultimate faster. No. Oh no, it wasn't Vault. So it's a Rampart one that reduced the cooldown. No, reduced the how do you call that shit? Uh, I forgot. Forgot the word in English. So it was easier to shoot this gun. Yeah, recoil pattern was easier, and the weapon handling was better, and so on. And added it on L Star and longbow, DMR. I don't know. I'm not gonna use longbow anyway. Double tap trigger on EVA 8 and turbocharger. Ooh, so they buffed devotion a little bit. Okay. Balance update. What is balance update? All right, this is not interesting. Uh, equipment. They also removed knockdown shields as a thing, and now they are tied to your shield level, which is nice. I like there was not that much value from knockdown shields anyway. Anyway, like they were mostly it was mostly for Newcastle. Anybody else didn't. Everybody else didn't really care about that. And removed uh, white backpacks, which is nice that they're now included by default because without that, like it's really hard to game. And maps, Broken Moon District World Stage. I actually really love that. I wish it was not Broken Moon but Storm Point again. But other than that, like I love World Stage so much. But I think we're starting with Broken Moon, which is not that nice. And I think the last significant change is that the developers, for some reason, removed drop zones in ranked, and now you drop from the regular dropship as it was before. And I really don't like this change because, like, it prevented people from like running down every game as if it were like if it's a pub game or something, and it at least like left us some remain at the end zones. While right now I'm pretty sure like if we consider, I don't know, like world stage, half of the map will drop into the center of the map, and then in the second circle you will have 10 teams alive. You would have nothing to do half of the game, and you would also have like infinite space. And I also think it's gonna be much easier to rank up right now because you would get placements points for free, and they didn't adjust the ranked like points that you get, as far as I understand. So I believe there will be much more people in Masters this season, in Diamonds and so on, because it will just be so much easier to get to leave until the like last circles. You just don't drop in the hotspot and you just wait. And yeah, so that is it. Thank you for watching, and yeah.